What's up, Witcher fans? Peace and Grease here, and odds are, if you are a Witcher fan, you've started to hear some of the rumblings about potentially new DLC for The Witcher 3. And that's the focus of the video today, is to kind of temper people's expectations, pump the brakes a little bit. I want to talk about what is likely that this DLC is going to be, and more importantly, what it is not going to be. So, this DLC, let's get right to the point here, is nothing more than damage control. Pure and simple. And you may be surprised to hear that. Damage control for what? Well, quite simply, the announcement trailer for The Witcher 4. There were a lot of people pointing out some very valid criticisms about this, and CDPR saw the reaction and thought, we got to do something. Oh crap, what do we do? And this potential DLC for The Witcher 3 is the answer to that question. So if you're expecting an all new area to explore, new story, new characters, new quests, another 40, 60 hours, that's not what this DLC would be. It is, in my opinion, going to be damage control, nothing more, nothing less. Now, to be more specific, let's talk a little bit about the controversy surrounding this. And for that, we have to go back to the beginning of The Witcher 3. When The Witcher 3 originally launched, there were three potential outcomes for Ciri. The first, the one that everyone seems to know, is that Ciri becomes a Witcher. Now, so much so, in fact, that people are surprised to hear that there are other outcomes for Ciri besides her becoming a Witcher, which is starting to lead me to believe that maybe people aren't playing the game. Maybe they're just watching the cinematics on YouTube and going, okay, I know the story now. But no, there are two other potential outcomes when the game launched. The other one is Ciri can become the Empress of Nilfgaard. And lastly, Ciri can die, making that beautiful, poetic, that sacrificial play. Now, for a long time, this was perfectly fine. However, once CDPR started talking about the future of The Witcher and who's going to be the next protagonist, they got a problem. Players that chose, to have Ciri make that sacrificial play, they killed off Ciri. And it's kind of hard to use a dead character as your protagonist of your next game, understandably so. This is why I'm always shocked when I hear people going, well, she's the logical choice for the next protagonist, or everybody wanted it. And it's like, when did you play the game? Because you certainly didn't play it at launch or several years after, because if you had, you would know that she died. So how would that be logical? How would that be everybody? And don't get me wrong, before I finished The Witcher 3, I was 100% in agreement. I was right there with them. Yeah, I hope she's in. I even said it out loud to a lot of my friends. I hope she's the next protagonist. But once I finished the game and I saw all of the outcomes, I realized she can't be. So that's where CDPR, for the first time, kind of got themselves in a knot. Well, they wanted a girl boss, but they couldn't use Ciri as that girl boss unless they did something about the Witcher 3 outcomes. So what did they do? Well, they had a lot of decisions, but unfortunately they did, in my opinion, made the worst one, which is they went back to The Witcher 3 and they butchered that outcome. So now, instead of Ciri making this beautiful, poetic, sacrificial play to stop the White Frost for the people she cares about, instead now she goes on vacation. No, I'm not joking. It is really that bad. Yeah. Horrible. Horrible. She just leaves. She just goes on vacation or something. Yeah. So that's the first issue a lot of people had, including myself, because the Witcher 4 trailer shows her being a Witcher. That means that no matter what you choose in The Witcher 3, it's irrelevant. She always becomes a Witcher. Oh, you choose for her to leave? Too bad, she becomes a Witcher. Oh, you chose for her to be the Empress of Nilfgaard? Too bad, she becomes a Witcher. So, in fact, there was so much backlash about this that CDPR even released a statement. And I'll boil it down to the kind of the root point, which was player choice matters. Now, was this 100% gaslighting and BS by CDPR? No doubt, no question whatsoever. Because what they really, in my opinion, what they're really trying to say is player choice matters if and only if you choose what we want you to choose. Meaning if you chose the outcome for Ciri becoming a Witcher, then your player choice matters. However, if you chose what CDPR did not want, then your player choice doesn't matter. Oh, you want her to be Empress? Too bad, she becomes a Witcher. Oh, you want her to leap? Too bad she becomes a Witcher. So, yeah, that's an issue. And for those of you doing your first playthrough in The Witcher 3, don't bother wasting your time looking up choices. It doesn't matter anymore. There used to be a good, a bad, and a neutral outcome. Now, there's like what? Good, neutral, neutral? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Choose what you want. At the end of the day, nothing you choose or decide to do in The Witcher 3 matters at all in The Witcher 4. At all. No matter what, she always becomes a Witcher. So, yeah. Just close your eyes and pick one because it no longer matters. So that's the first bit of backlash that we had with Witcher 3, but it wasn't the only one because people started to notice in the trailer that Ciri had undergone the trial of the grasses. Now, why is this an issue? Now, some people out there are going to try to spin or twist and manipulate this. Oh, it's misogyny. No, it's called logic. Okay. If there's a billionaire 60 stories up on a ledge and I say, hey, I'll give you $5 to risk your life walking this tightrope, how many billionaires do you think would take that opportunity? Yeah, none. But that's precisely what happens here. For Ciri to undergo the trial of the grasses, she is, by the way, already far more powerful than a Witcher. It would be like her as a billionaire risking her life for $5 to become a Witcher. It's the dumbest thing ever. It makes no logical sense at all. She's already a billionaire. Why would you risk your life undergoing the trial of the grasses for $5? On top of which, not a single character in this universe would help her go through with it. And you would need a Witcher school to do it. So, where does that leave us? This is, in my opinion, exactly what's going to happen in this DLC. First of all, this is going to show Ciri being Empress for about 2.6 seconds. It's going to also show Ciri leaving for about 2.6 seconds. And then she's going to immediately become a Witcher. Again, nullifying any potential choice you made in The Witcher 3. And then there's going to be something that happens, and it's going to be something along the lines of, well, if she doesn't get the trial of grasses, she could die. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah, a lot of hand-waving, mental gymnastic, idiotic BS. And that's pretty much what this DLC is going to be in a nutshell. In my opinion, obviously. I hope that's not the case, but I'm pretty certain that that's exactly what's going to happen. Again, I think if CDPR had a lick of sense, instead of trying to, she's got to be equal to, she's already more powerful than the Witchers. Why are you dragging her down, making her weaker by making her become a Witcher? It's not logical. What they should do is bring that elder blood magic to life. Give her all new abilities, all new powers. That could be fun. That could be interesting because it would be unlike, Geralt at any point. It would be completely unique. But unfortunately, I think reason has, in a lot of ways, has left CDPR. So yeah, they're probably going to go through with this idiotic. Oh, she underwent the trial of the grasses. It's going to be there's some risk of life if she doesn't get it, kind of BS. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And until next time, peace out.